Every year, we say goodbye to people we care about. All sorts of people. Family and friends, neighbors and coworkers, and those famous faces we only know from the other side of a screen. Christophe St. John was one of the most beloved stars of the soap opera world. He played Neil Winters on The Young and the Restless for 28 years, from 1991 until his unexpected death from heart disease in February, at the age of 52. Over the course of his performance, he became one of the longest-running African-American characters in television history. They called Doris Day America's sweetheart. She died in May at the age of 97, after devoting decades to animal welfare. But back in the 50s and 60s, she was the most famous pop star in the country. In the movies, she played Calamity Jane, she starred for Hitchcock, and she was the queen of romantic comedies. Her singing career started on big band radio, and eventually she won the Best Song Oscar for Que Sera Sera. And there was her sitcom, The Doris Day Show.
Tim Conway was the first to admit that his goal on The Carol Burnett Show was to crack up his co-stars as much as possible. He did it with physical comedy, like when he played a dentist accidentally stabbing himself in the leg with Novocaine. He did it with silly accents. All he had to say was Mrs. Ahoygans to make his co-stars crack. The audience did too. Before he died in May, Tim Conway also made us laugh in wacky Hollywood films, in his goofy Dorf videos, and as Barnacle Boy on SpongeBob SquarePants. Cameron Boyce was heartbreakingly young when he died of epilepsy in July, but he packed more into his 20 years than some people do in a lifetime. Off-screen, Cameron Boyce was a dedicated activist fighting to end sexual assault, gun violence, and homelessness, as well as raising money for clean water in developing countries.
Toni Morrison didn't just write literature. She changed literature. In her novels like Beloved and Song of Solomon, she brought beautiful language and brutal honesty to the epic stories she wanted to tell about the Black American experience. She wrote fiction, but she wrote it like a poet, and she wrote it like a prophet. The Nobel Prize, the Pulitzer, the Presidential Medal of Freedom, her honors go on and on.
Rick Ocasek, who died in September, was the frontman for the Cars. They helped bring new wave music into the mainstream in the late 70s by writing songs that were super melodic, but also edgy and a little weird.
If you've ever listened to the news on National Public Radio, you've heard Cokey Roberts' voice. When she joined NPR in the 70s, her reporting on national politics became the station's gold standard, and she had a brilliant gift for explaining it to the rest of us. She died at the age of 75 from complications from breast cancer.
When Diahann Carroll took the role that would make her famous, TV had not yet caught up to the real world when it came to reflecting African American lives. She played the title character on Julia, and that character was the first Black woman on TV who was anything other than a maid or a mammy. It was 1968, Julia was a nurse, and it was about time we got a chance to see a professional Black woman on TV. Later in her career, Carroll got to play a deliciously over-the-top diva on the nighttime soap Dynasty. Diahann Carroll died of breast cancer in October.
Those first 10 are just the tip of the iceberg. Come along with us now as we celebrate the lives of the artists, athletes, world leaders, and more, whose deaths this year brought countless fans to leave memories and condolences at legacy.com.
Looking out on the morning rain, I used to feel so inspired. And when I knew I had to face another day. Lord, it made me feel so tired. Before the day I met you, life was so unkind. You're the key to my peace of mind. 'Cause you make me feel, you make me feel, you make me feel like a natural man. When my soul was in the lost and found, you came along to claim it. Oh yeah. And I didn't know just what was wrong with me till your kiss helped me name it. Now I'm no longer doubtful of what I'm living for. And if I make you happy, I don't need to do more. 'Cause you make me feel, you make me feel, you make me feel like a natural man. Ooh, baby, what you done to me? What you done to me? You make me feel so good inside. And I just wanna be close to you. You make me feel so alive. You make me feel, you make me feel like a natural man. You make me feel, you make me feel, you make me feel like a natural man. I can remember, babe, all those times you stayed up all night with me, babe. Oh, that time. But if I know to, babe, I want to say, oh, hey, babe, you make me feel.
Nobody else can love me or make me feel the way you do. No one.
Oh, baby, you. Oh, I like the way you do me when you do me, babe. Hey, babe, can I say you? Oh, you make me feel like a, make me feel like a natural man, baby. Say you make.
Nobody else can love me or make me feel the way you do. No one, nowhere, nobody.
To the top now. So baby,
never gonna let you go. Hold on to me tighter, baby, hold on to me. Whatever will be now. The future is ours to see. When you hold on to me, baby, baby, hold on to me, baby. Whatever will be, baby. The future is ours to see. I wanna say, when you hold on to me.
Take a firm hold of the hypodermic needle. Right.
If you want something, anything, you're going to have to deal with me.
Chewie, take care of yourself, okay?
And Frank rips into this one.
Welcome to paradise, man. Welcome to your dream come true.
I thank the President for his expression of confidence in me.
Party's over, and it's time for the cleanup period.
We produced something so valuable, so irreplaceable, and that's what's worth celebrating.